state representative for your county, and I'm so happy to be here. You know, I said when you get this party started, you look across the room and see the camaraderie and people talking and visiting, and hadn't seen each other in a while. It's just very rewarding for me to get to do this, you know. But thank you for coming. This marks our 5th anniversary of getting to do this First Responders Dinner. And but first off, I just want to recognize, you know, many of us started out early this morning here, and we went to a lot of Veterans Day parades and events across the region. And I just want to make sure we take a moment to honor our veterans. But I want to do it just a little bit because, you know, the men and women that served in the military, we do owe them a great debt. And I was in Ball Ground at lunch today, had some great speakers. You know, really heartfelt what they had endured in some cases, but what they got to serve in other cases. And it was just neat. But so we're going to do a little bit different today. You know, they did it one way at Ball Ground. I'm going to do a little bit different. So if you're a veteran, stay seated. And if you're not, stand up. Well, let's give these folks a hand. Just a little bit different. It just has a little bit different context. And looking at being the person that may be at your table. The stuff. You know, it just always means a lot to me to get to do this. And I do because I'm sort of a little bit because of my wife's brother who passed away a few years ago. David was a first responder. He loved it. And I got to see it firsthand, his enthusiasm at work every day. And his just the thrill of getting to do that. But we appreciate what you do. Just stepping up and stepping out in many ways that help us. Every time I hear a siren from where I live, I think about who you are and where you're going and what you're going to do to help somebody. When you look around the room, I guess in my role in the legislature, sometimes I look at it as a safety net. And that we have in this community that's very strong. And talking to Commissioner Stansel there just a minute ago, and look at all these people that you employ that serve Pickens County. And it's just kind of hard to believe to do that. But I appreciate what you do at a moment's notice. And I've always done that. You know, when they started doing this 5 years ago, they said, hey, Rick, you're going to be the guy that gets to pick the speaker. And to encourage them to do that. And that's been a lot of fun for me to get to do that. And I know you're really gonna like the guy that we've got today when he gets here. But you know, last year when I was here, you know, I kind of challenged some of y'all to wave at me when you see me riding around town, because I'm gonna wave at you. And I made a very conscious effort in my red pickup trucks, whichever one I'm in, it's got the beef tag on the front, to wave at you. Because it kind of gives me just a little bit of connection to you and what you do, to let you know that I appreciate what you do. Now, most of y'all I can't see because you got tinted windows, but those are fire trucks you can see. And I wish everybody would do that to engage you guys. I'm so glad when I hear little kids talking in the background here that you brought your families. Because I think it's so important that your family gets to see how much our community supports you and wants to support you and be a part of it, because we appreciate the partnership. And I was thinking about it last night. I woke up, I'm an old guy, so I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm thinking about stuff, you know, and one thing, you know, in this world today, we question a lot. I mean, you know, you do too. You watch a lot of news, you see all these things, and we question things. But I just know deep in my heart what you do, our community doesn't question. And we appreciate what you do every day in answering the call. You know, I'm going to invite who's coming up next? Morrissey is going to come up, and I look forward to introducing John King to y'all in just a few minutes. Dale is the president of our Jasper Rotary Club, which has been the main sponsor of this for many years.
And Rick, known Rick for many years, and he does a lot of good for this community. I am pleased to be here tonight representing the Rotary Club of Jasper, and just being in the room with all of you individuals, it's just an honor because of what you do every day to keep our community safe and a place that we can say we love where we live because of you. So let's give you another round of applause. Georgia Mountain Hospice and Rotary Club of Jasper sponsors and host this tonight. And as a Rotary Club member, service above self. We love doing events and we love doing good, as Kay Lawrence says, every chance we get. And we appreciate the opportunity to be here. Georgia Mountain Hospice, Gina Pendley. If you know Gina Pendley, you know that Gina Pendley has heart. And her heart is in everything she does. Would the employees of the Georgia Mountain Hospice, would you please stand to be recognized? They put a lot into this program and everything they do, and Gina is unable to be with us tonight. We want to just be thinking about Gina, but she is just dying not to be here. She loves being here and thanking everybody for what they do. So at this time, I would like to have Steve Lawrence, if he would come up. Steve is a Rotarian and former mayor of Jasper.
Good evening. Would you please rise and remain standing? We're going to say our Pledge of Allegiance, and right after that, we're going to play our national anthem.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. So it's an unusual event that we happen to have on the night that we ordinarily do our public safety dinner. And on top of that, today happens to be our Veterans Day. So we've done some recognizing. All of the veterans that are here have a very long day. And here we are tonight. So I want to also tell you that I stand before you as a veteran, no matter what the former things that I was. You know, if you live long enough, you wind up with a few of those former things. But as a veteran, and one of 2,000 in this county. That's a very large ratio for a county of approximately 36,000 people. They're all looking for a home, and I never pass up an opportunity to say that we need a home for our veterans. So if there's someone out there with a very deep pocketbook, come and talk to me after this meeting. Thank you very much. And so we're going to do, although our state representative did do a recognition, I'd like to do this a little differently. If it turns out that you are here and are in the public safety field and are a veteran, would you please stand? Remain standing, please. If you are a veteran, I want you to stand and join these people who work. And thank you very much for your service, all of you. So with that, then I'd like to ask every single member of public safety to stand. Every member, veteran or not. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you an entire room full of people whose ideal is service above self. Thank you. And thank you all. Oh, before I leave, I'd like to invite Reverend Gerry Gleason to come up for an invocation.
Y'all, it's truly an honor, excuse me, I'm not used to microphones and I'm loud. I'd say, it's truly an honor to be before you. Many of you know me from my time at Quick Chip probably, and also my time as the cook at Coach's Cuts, when Coach's Cuts was open. And so I've served many of you meals before in the past, and I just want to thank you for your service. This is a special honor for me before I get into my invocation. I am the son of a traffic cop in the city of St. Clair Shores where I grew up, and the grandson of a beat cop in the city of Detroit, and the brother to a retired paramedic in the city of Tampa. And so I want to say a special recognition to the families out there, because we also recognize your service. Because I know from all my missed games and half meals with my father and brother-in-law, what sacrifices you go through. And I just wanted to take a moment to thank the families, the spouses, and the children, and the relatives of all our public servants in here today. Thank you for the work you do as well. Now, let us take a moment in silence to remember our brothers and sisters. I saw recently on Facebook that retired Deputy Gillette had passed away from the Pickens County Sheriff's Department, and so let's remember him and his family in our prayers. And let us take a moment to remember our fallen brothers and sisters in our community before we pray. Let us bow our heads. Gracious and Almighty Father, tonight we gather in the heart of Pickens County in the city of Jasper with grateful hearts and solemn respect. On this Veterans Day, we pause to honor the brave men and women who have served our nation, who have stood watch for freedom and have bore the weight of duty, and who have sacrificed so that we may live in peace. We thank you, Lord, for their courage, their commitment, and for their legacy they leave behind. We also lift up our public safety heroes, our law enforcement officers, firefighters, EMTs, and emergency personnel who serve the city of Jasper and all of Pickens County and neighboring communities with tireless dedication. They are our guardians, they are our neighbors, and they respond to crisis. And with heady heads, they bring calm into chaos. Bless this evening, Lord. May this meal be a symbol of our thanks, and may this fellowship strengthen the bonds of this community. Let our words tonight reflect the honor due to those who serve, and let our actions tomorrow carry forward that respect. We ask for your protection over every veteran and every public servant here today, Lord. Surround them with peace, shield them from harm, and comfort their families who stand behind them. May their service never be forgotten, and may their courage inspire us all to live with purpose, compassion, and with unity. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Okay, let's kind of get started here. Just a real quick note. I want to point out this fine gentleman that many of y'all know, Dan Cruikshank from Shade Tree Barbecue. Let's give him a hand. Dan's a part of a lot of benefits in our community. We appreciate it. Y'all want me to tell you, if you'll take your plate, if you want some more barbecue, that wonderful coleslaw, that's my favorite. And anything else, he's got plenty back here, but just need to take your plate with you because he's run out of plates. So Danny, thanks to you and your team. So, I get, some master ceremonies, it's kind of funny, but you do get to pick or work to find a speaker that I think represents what we feel about you, and is part of you this time. And I met our speaker many years ago. I had him come to Jasper. John King probably doesn't even remember it. Came to Mount Zion Baptist Church. Ben Mock had a military appreciation day. And then at the moment, General King came up to Jasper, did a fabulous job. And it's always stuck in the back of my mind when we started getting speakers. I started like 3 years ago. Well, this is a busy guy. But I'm really excited you're going to get to hear John King. Great story, great leader in our state. He's our state insurance commissioner in fire safety. He'll tell you all about that. But he's been it since Governor Kent appointed him in 2019. Then he stood for re-election, and guess what? You're up for re-election again, right? That's what we all are next year. But we appreciate what he does. He has a very important job that touches all of us. He's been the insurance commissioner. It's been interesting listening to some of his things that we taught. Before he was commissioner, I think you're really going to love hearing what he's done in his life. I didn't know it, or I forgot it, that he was over the Canton Armory at one time. And my next door neighbor, Mike Castagna, who was the best neighbor I've ever had, worked for him. He knew his name, and Mike was our supply sergeant. Loved General King and what they did with the tanks and all that good stuff in Kent. So he has a connection to us. But before he became commissioner, he spent his career in law enforcement and the military. And I'm gonna kind of give you a little bit. He goes, don't tell him all this stuff. I think there's times when you gotta take time and listen to the accomplishments of some people. He began as an Atlanta police officer in 1985, ending as chief of police of Doraville. While at the Atlanta Police Department, he worked at various assignments, including Red Dog, Organized Crime Intelligence, received the Chief's Blue Star in 1987 for being injured in the line of duty as a result of a criminal attacking him with a firearm. His career assignments also include both work for the FBI and DEA as a task force agent. He's a native of Mexico, and General King, or Commissioner King, has made a meaningful impact on building bridges among Doraville's diverse population and implementing youth and education programs. And I think he has also done that as a statewide elected official, reaching out into diverse minority group, and we appreciate what he's done there. In addition to his former roles in Atlanta and Doraville, he served 40 years in the United States military. King was the commander of the 48th Infantry Brigade Combat Team, has been deployed to Bosnia, Herzegovina, Iraq, Afghanistan, and Africa. He served as the military advisor to the Deputy Minister of the Interior for Security for Afghanistan. I wish you could tell us some stories about that. I think there'd be some good where they oversaw 96,000 police officers. He also commanded the U.S. Army's North Task Force 51. In 2023, he retired as a Major General in the U.S. Army following his final assignments to NORAD and U.S. Northern Command. Y'all, General King, you got so many awards. And with Combat Action Badge for service in Iraq, Combat Infantry Badge for Afghanistan, all things like, they're not little things like Legion of Merit, Bronze Star, Meritorious Service Medal, Joint Meritorious Unit Award, Afghanistan Campaign Medal, Iraq Campaign Medal, and many others. But I want to let you know, here's why I think it's important that he's here, and what I think about John King as our insurance commissioner. So, I want you to picture this. You're in a group of 5 or 6 people, just like I am many times. And somebody's going to say, oh, so-and-so said something. And we tend to believe the baloney that people spread sometimes in rumors. But I'm so glad to tell you that if I'm in that group of 5 or 6 people, and someone says, John King said X, and I know it's not true, I can with confidence say, I know this man. I know his character, I know where he's from, I know what he's did in his life. And that's not the man that you're talking about that I know. Because I know that actions speak louder than words, and I appreciate you for that. And so you're gonna fix it here, one of your guys. And I appreciate that, and I'm glad you're here tonight. John, that's what I like to call you.
Yes, sir.
And welcome to Pickens County.
Thank you all so much. I hope nobody fell asleep in the back. I see the firefighters back there, you got to understand that after being in law enforcement 30 years and then becoming the Insurance and Safety Fire Commissioner, I had to cut down half of my jokes about firefighters because, we know that you fellows are very sensitive, So, and of course now they've been pulling out the donuts any moment, so they always go to the return the favor. But I know you all notice the accent, a lot of people are like, oh, he doesn't sound like he's from Chattahoochee, Georgia. And so my father grew up in Nashville, Georgia, Marion County, as they say, down yonder. And grew up in a tobacco farm. Did not want to be a tobacco farmer. So he went off to Savannah, Georgia, and joined the Merchant Marine just as World War II was starting. Sailed all over the world, was actually sunk a couple of times on convoys before even America got involved in the war. And continued working after the war and retired and went to live in Mexico and married my mom. So what you hear is Southern and Spanish. And at age 17 and a half, brought me to the United States so I could go to school. Brought all places, brought me to Albany, Georgia. You got to pronounce it just right or else you get voted off the island down in Dougherty County. And of course that made my Spanish and Southern accent even worse. So I graduated from high school and I came to Atlanta. And to help me pay for college, I was going to Georgia State University, I joined the Atlanta Police Department. And within 30 days, I was driving a paddy wagon with a nightstick, a set of handcuffs, and a radio, and I couldn't believe they were actually paying me money to do that. I was working Northwest Atlanta, Perry Homes, and fell in love with the profession of serving my community, like so many of y'all in this room. One of my first assignments was walking what they call high crime foot patrol on Auburn Avenue at night. And my job was to walk this lady to her car every night. I didn't realize, growing up in Mexico, I didn't realize it was such a big deal. Well, this was Coretta Scott King. And so I used to walk Coretta to her car every night. And she was probably the first one that, if anybody should have had a hard time dealing with a young, blonde-headed, blue-eyed, funny accent policeman, it should have been her. But she took a lot of time to talk to me. It was not the chief of police's job to make sure that neighborhood was safe. It wasn't the sergeant or the captain or the major's job to make sure that neighborhood was safe. It was my job. And I fell in love with the idea of being accountable for a piece of ground to make sure that my community was safe. Now, I think God had in his mind that I was going to be involved in insurance sometime during my lifetime. Because I took full advantage of the workers' comp health insurance plan, because everything that could happen to a young policeman happened to me. I was shot in line of duty. I was run over by a police car. I was stabbed, so I became a frequent flyer at Gerry Hospital. So thanks to many of you EMTs, they either carried me there. I even had a box spring dropped on my head from 3 stories high one time. So yes, I have a hard head, and my wife reminds me of that all the time. But again, I fell in love with the idea of protecting my community. Well, I saw this ad of a tank going through the woods, knocking trees down, getting stuck in mud holes, and I said, man, there's no way I could ever afford to have a vehicle like that. I would have joined that outfit. So I joined the Georgia Army National Guard as a private in Cedartown, Georgia. And fell in love with the idea of being in a community, being in the National Guard, being with fellow folks from all over the state of Georgia, serving my community. Actually, my first deployment, and you'll laugh at this, I got deployed to Cumming, Georgia in 1987 when the big march occurred. And it was eye-opening. Got to see Oprah Winfrey, so all kinds. But what's funny is, as a police officer, we helped load all those people on buses when I was in Atlanta, and then I had to rush to Cumming, jump into my Army uniform, and then offload them off of buses and make sure that the event went safe. Again, our state has given me some tremendous opportunities. I did all the fun jobs because I spoke Spanish. I was a task force agent with DEA, so I got to travel all over the place back in the 80s and 90s. It was a lot of fun working in narcotics, so nobody brought a gun, unlike today that everybody brings a gun to a drug dealer. But then I served as a National Guard. I went to officer candidate school, became a lieutenant of cavalry. So I was a cavalry officer, no horses, just M1 tanks. And I got the pleasure or the honor to command the Canton unit. It was Delta Company, 108th Armor. I actually drove 2 of my tanks one time through Tate. Yeah, I went through the intersection of Tate, Georgia, driving my tanks, and we went in, of course, it was quite a spectacle driving 2 M1 tanks up 575 with 2 sheriff vehicles protecting us. Thanks to Pickens County because you took care of us there, and Cherokee County did as well. But I fell in love with the idea of being responsible for the lives and the training of every one of my soldiers. And you all have produced an incredible generation of young men and women who have dedicated themselves to serving our community. And many of them, by the way, the 48th Infantry Brigade, I started as a private and finishing commanded the brigade as a colonel. And 11% of those soldiers are first responders, firefighters, policemen, sheriff deputies, corrections officers. And what I call you all twice the citizen. Not only do you serve your community, but you also serve your nation and your state. And so incredibly, and I could have gotten out 1,000,000 times, but I did not want to leave my fellow soldiers behind. And so I kicked around for 42 years. And they kept on promoting me, they kept on sending me to god-awful places like Afghanistan and Iraq, but I always knew that I had fellow soldiers from North Georgia, across Georgia, watching my back. And so an incredible responsibility, but incredible kinship among some fantastic men and women who continue to serve our nation and our state, and all of them raised up here in North Georgia. I just cannot tell you, when I got the invitation to come up here, I said, absolutely. This is my way of recognizing not only you all, but your families. Because people don't realize when you sign up for this job, your family is also signing up. And our veterans, our first responders, your family, you might be going on shift, but your family is there with you. They're worried about you. Want to make sure that you come back safely. I had the pleasure of starting as a private and got promoted to general. And I don't say that because I'm trying to brag. I'm telling you that my story and stories like mine are impossible anywhere else in the world. Only in America does a kid that was born in Mexico, that came and was a footbeat officer, that was a patrolman, who was a soldier in a tank unit, gets the opportunity to rise to be a general officer, to be a chief of police in Dorwell. I got the opportunity to go to Dorwell and got promoted to be the chief of police. And I applied to be the head of the Georgia National Guard. And my best friend got the job. So I went back to being the chief of police in Dorwell. And pretty good, the fact that I was chief of police for 17 years, and so I outdid the record because chiefs of police come and go pretty quickly. And so I only got fired once for 6 hours because I deployed to Iraq, and a couple of my council members said that they didn't want me to go, so they were going to fire me. And of course, the city attorney told them that, yeah, you probably don't want to do that. But you know what? The community woke up the next morning and recalled those council members because the incredible patriotism of Georgia. And so I will tell you, never worry about this community having your back. The fact that folks are here to celebrate first responders, not only the law enforcement officers, our firefighters, but also our EMTs and communications officers and corrections officers. This community loves law enforcement. This community loves their first responders because you are the glue that keeps our communities safe. You can't have economic development and success if you don't have public safety. If you don't have strong roots in this community, nothing else is possible. And so this is a celebration, a recognition, and all the incredible acts that are going to be recognized this evening. This doesn't happen by accident. It is a deliberate decision by the leaders of this community and the citizens of this county and this city to take care of their folks in uniform. No, don't take that for granted. This doesn't happen everywhere in the nation. There's a lot of communities, broken communities. There's broken communities in Georgia that don't have this kind of support for their first responders. You have something special here, and I think you ought to pay particular attention not to let that go aside, because it could very easily be lost. Continue celebrating your first responders, because they are the glue that keeps our communities thriving and lets our kids be able to have a safe community where they can play. And so any opportunity that we can come and celebrate and spend time and recognize our first responders is something cherished, something special that we should cherish. Of all the things that I've told you, none of this has anything to do with being the insurance commissioner. I know that. After my best friend got the job as the adjutant general, I went back to being the chief of police. Then I got a call later, about a month later, from the governor. It says, "Hey, I want to come and talk to you. I want you to come and talk to me about a job I got for you." I'm like, "I want you to be the insurance commissioner." I'm like, "Governor, I don't know anything about insurance." I put some extra legal language in there, but there's ladies and kids present, so I want to use that description of what I said to the governor. I said, "Governor, I don't know anything about insurance." And I think he was ready for that. He said, "Well, we've had a lot of people that knew a lot about insurance and they haven't quite worked out really well. Unfortunately, Georgia has 2 previous insurance commissioners in federal prison. And so my job was to come and clean up. To come, clean the agency, and bring the kind of talent, bring the kind of folks that want to serve the people of Georgia. I don't work for insurance companies. I don't have to be the smartest guy in the room about insurance. I have to surround myself around with some honest and ethical people who never forget that our job is to protect Georgia consumers. And so I have a great relationship with insurance companies. Sometimes they like me, sometimes they don't. I'm like that traffic cop working back in Atlanta directing traffic. My job is to keep commerce flowing. And when somebody breaks the rules, we pull them over, we give them a citation, we get them back on the road. And sometimes insurance companies like me, many times they don't. And I'm okay with that. Believe me, I was not, 6.5 years ago, I was not dreaming of being your insurance commissioner. I was very happy being the chief of police and being a military officer. I'm doing this because I got asked to serve this state and this community and all Georgia consumers. And so that's what we're going after. That's what we're trying to bring. But I never miss the opportunity to thank the folks who make our communities safe. This is an incredible celebration, folks. And I want to remind, can I get a show of hands how many veterans we have here? Glad to see a bunch of folks in uniform as well. Thank you so much for your service. If you remember your oath of office, and even for our law enforcement and first responders, when you swear, just realize that that oath doesn't have an expiration. That is an oath for life, to serve your community, to serve your neighbors, to make sure that we have good, safe, vibrant communities. And by you being here, you're fulfilling that oath. And I thank you for that, because that oath has no expiration. Thank you all so much for your service. Thank you so much for you all being here, and looking forward to the recognition of our heroes. Thank you all so much.
And now we're going to talk about and hear a little bit about some individuals in our community that we're going to honor tonight. So as I call your name, if you'll come up to my left, and Michelle will give you something, and we're going to get a photo here after I finish reading your bio. So sit back and relax. All right, we're going to start with Bent Tree Public Safety tonight. Dan O'Connell. PSO Dan O'Connell grew up in Marietta. He began his career at age 21 in the field of corrections. Although PSO O'Connell later branched out into other areas such as retail and photography, he always had a passion for public safety and serving others. In late 2024, he acted on that and completed Pickens County's Firefighter 1 training program to become a certified firefighter. He volunteered at Pickens County Station 13 during the class and still volunteers as a volunteer today on his days off. In April of 2025, O'Connell was given the opportunity to work full-time for Bent Tree Public Safety and serve as a firefighter public safety officer. With Bent Tree, he soon demonstrated great work ethics, care for others, a teamwork mentality, and leadership qualities. He's proven to be very reliable, well-rounded member of the Bent Tree team, and he's always encouraging those around him and striving to learn more. He never hesitates to help others. O'Connell appears to truly enjoy his career and approaches all duties with thoroughness and a positive attitude. He's an integral part of the Bent Tree team, and it's our department and community are blessed to have him, they say. He serves as a great example to others and is well deserving of his honor to be named Bent Tree Employee of the Year for 2025. Thank you for what you do. He seems kind of humble, doesn't he? Bethany Salem Fire Department, Megan Leathers. Megan joined the fire service just 2 short years ago and has quickly distinguished herself through her dedication, hard work, and commitment to excellence. In 2025 alone, she completed over 220 hours of training, reflecting her determination to be the best prepared she can be in service to her community. Always striving to learn more, Megan takes advantage of every opportunity for additional training. Even beyond the requirements of her position, she earned her fire safety educator certification, allowing her to further support the department's outreach and education efforts. Megan's enthusiasm, professionalism, and passion for helping others embodies the true spirit of fire service. When Megan is not volunteering, attending fire training, or working in her public safety administration role for the county, she enjoys spending time with her husband Jeff and their 4 children. Megan, brothers. Thank you, Megan, for what you do. Big Canoe Public Safety, Ron Davis. Ron Davis is unable to be here tonight, but Director Ricky Jordan will be accepting his plaque. Sergeant Davis has been a member of the Big Canoe team for 3 years, although he came to Big Canoe with a 25-year career in public safety. Since he began with Big Canoe, his experience and customer service skills have been an outstanding asset to his department. One such incident of his excellent customer service and his caring nature occurred when he was called upon to assist an individual who had experienced a traumatic injury and was reluctant to allow needed medical help. Due to the patient's car being stranded at the postal facility and her dog was home alone and needed attention, she didn't want to go to the hospital. Because of her concern for her dog, Sergeant Davis offered to drive her car home and let the dog out, which allowed her to go to the hospital and receive the care she needed. You know that know me know I love that story. She consented to transport and provided instructions to Sergeant Davis, enabling him to take care of the dog and to also secure her car. This is only one example of Sergeant Davis's excellent customer service skills and him going above and beyond the call of duty to assist his community. Director Ricky Jordan. Thank you. Chattahoochee Technical College Public Safety, John Carter. It is with great pride and respect that he was nominated Officer John Carter of the Chattahoochee Technical College Police Department for the Public Safety Employee of the Year Award. Officer Carter's distinguished career in law enforcement, spanning over 3 decades, reflects an unwavering commitment to public safety, leadership, and community service. He began his law enforcement journey in 1993 and retired as the chief investigator at the Cobb County Solicitor's Office, a role in which he demonstrated exceptional investigative skill, professionalism, and integrity. His leadership in that position set a high standard for criminal investigations and interagency collaboration. Remarkably, Officer Carter has served the Chattahoochee Technical College Police Department for 24 years, all while maintaining a full-time position at a separate law enforcement agency. The dual commitment is a testament to his extraordinary work ethic, time management, and devotion to duty. His ability to balance both roles and excellence is nothing short of inspiring. Throughout his tenure, Officer Carter has consistently performed his duties with exceptional skill and innovation. His contributions have led to improved safety protocols, enhanced training initiatives, and a stronger sense of security across campus. He is a trusted leader whose presence boosts morale and fosters a culture of professionalism and mutual respect. Officer Carter is also deeply engaged in the community, both in and out of his uniform. His volunteer work, mentorship of young officers, and participation in public outreach programs reflect favorably in our agency and strengthen the bond between law enforcement and the public. For these reasons, he is commended and recommended Officer John Carter for his distinguished recognition. His career is a model of dedication, excellence, and service, and he continues to inspire those privileged to work alongside him. John Carter. City of Jasper Fire Department, Montana teams. The City of Jasper Fire Department would like to nominate firefighter, paramedic Montana teams for Firefighter of the Year. In addition to being a certified firefighter, he's also a critical care paramedic and a flight medic. Firefighter paramedic teams has worked tirelessly to move our organization forward and to provide an exceptional level of service to our community. Over the course of the past year, he has worked to improve our emergency medical documentation, radio communication capabilities, and station alerting systems. During the time, he also completed his bachelor's degree and is currently pursuing his master's degree in public administration with a concentration in emergency services management. Firefighter paramedic teams currently serves the department's apparatus design committee, EMS committee, and hiring committee. He excels in all these capabilities and sharpening the future of our department and community in a positive way. Montana teams. Thank you for what you do. City of Jasper Police Department, Bobby Hornsby. Bobby is a police officer with the Jasper Police Department. He has been with the department for 2 years, working alongside his peers. Officer Hornsby has stepped into the role of officer in charge in the absence of the shift sergeant on military deployment. This change came with ease to Officer Hornsby. He's a great asset to our family and agency. He strives to accomplish our mission for community policing. Officer Hornsby is an influential force in the workforce due to his personality and eagerness to work hard. He uses his positive attitude and energy to stimulate others to work harder and succeed in furthering their career and education. This year, Officer Hornsby is our selection of the Officer of the Year because he's been dispatched to 864 calls for service, over 100 written reports, 25 crash reports, 352 self-initiated activities including traffic stops and suspicious person and resident business checks. He's made 268 traffic stops, 105 citations, and numerous arrests while acting as the shift supervisor. He surpasses our expectation as is continuously striving to be a peak performer. We are proud to nominate Officer Hornsby for the 2025 Public Safety Appreciation Award. That's a lot of reports. Thank you for what you do. Georgia State Patrol, Cody Rollins. TFC Cody Rollins graduated from 115th Trooper School in March of 2024. Since TFC Rollins graduated, he's performed 2,691 traffic stops, issued 1,920 citations, and apprehended 121 impaired drivers. He takes pride in his job and is protecting his community. He displays the Georgia State Patrol's core values daily and assists other troopers and local agencies when needed. Thank you so much for what you do. Pickens County 911, Christy Fisher. Christy began her career with Pickens County 911 in 1999 and quickly advanced through the ranks to become a supervisor. Over the years, she has proven herself to be a dedicated professional, a trusted leader, and steadfast advocate for excellence in emergency communication. Christy is recognized by her peers for her outstanding dedication, leadership, and unwavering commitment to excellence. Her coworkers describe her as a mentor and a steady presence, and as someone who ensures her team is well-trained, confident, and performs their duties with professionalism and precision. She sets the example that other communications officers as well as supervisors strive to follow. With more than 2 decades of devoted service, Christy continues to embody the very best of Pickens County 911, demonstrating integrity, compassion, and excellence in every call she answers and every team she leads. Her commitment to serving the citizens of Pickens County stands as a shining example of what it means to be a true communications officer. And Christy will be coming up with her husband, Cliff, to accept her award. It will be Cliff. Thank you, Christy, for what you do. Pickens County Fire Rescue Brian Dean. Brian is on duty tonight, so Deputy Chief Capps will be coming forward. Lieutenant Brian Dean has been nominated and selected as Employee of the Year for Pickens County Fire Rescue. Lieutenant Dean has been a longtime employee of Pickens County Fire. He has shown a steadfast desire to see the department grow. He has demonstrated great leadership in organizing and assisting with the training of new and existing members of the department for continued success with their careers. Lieutenant Dean is always willing to help when asked. He is currently assisting co-workers with getting firefighters their Firefighter 2 certification and sharpening their practical skills while maintaining his day-to-day duties. He has previously organized and delivered a multi-day training session called Saving Our Own for his shift. He did this through search techniques, packaging a victim, and implementing methods to extricate a victim. He also included size-up scenarios and first arriving engine practices. Lieutenant Dean identified the need, stepped up, and took the initiative to voluntarily deliver the training. In co-workers' words, in typical Lieutenant Dean fashion, he took and ran with it. Lieutenant Dean has served the citizens of Pickens County with distinction, and it is with great pleasure to recognize him for his dedication and loyalty to serving our citizens for over 20 years. We appreciate what he's done. Pickens County Fire Rescue Volunteer, Tony Matthews. Firefighter Tony Matthews has been nominated and selected as Volunteer Firefighter of the Year for Pickens County Fire Rescue. Tony has been an outstanding leader and motivator within the Wildcat Community's Fire Station 10. He is consistently demonstrating the professionalism, teamwork, and dedication that define the spirit of volunteer service. He's earned the respect of his peers through his steady leadership, thoughtful decision-making, and genuine care for others. Tony brings both practical skill and emotional intelligence to every situation, qualifies that have made him a trusted advisor and a strong influence across the team of Station 10. He has represented his station at community meetings with professionalism and confidence, and he has shown a rare ability to identify and develop key skills within our support section to strengthen overall readiness. In every sense, he embodies the ideals his station strives for: commitment and reliability, teamwork and leadership, professionalism and integrity, initiative and service beyond calls, and courage and calm. Tony Matthews is the kind of volunteer every officer hopes to have, says Station Commander Captain Charles Caldwell. His leadership has been essential to success and cohesion with the Station 10 team. It is with great pleasure to recognize Tony Matthews as Pickens County's Fire Rescue's Volunteer Firefighter of the Year, which is well deserved. Tony, thank you. Pickens County Sheriff's Office, Mike Chastain. Throughout the past year, Captain Mike Chastain exemplified exceptional professionalism, leadership, and commitment to the citizens he serves and the agency he proudly represents. Captain Chastain has performed his duties with outstanding skill, expertise, and innovation, consistently achieving that have enhanced operational efficiency and public trust. His ability to make sound decisions under pressure and his relentless attention to detail reflect a mastery of his responsibilities and a passion for excellence in public service. He has demonstrated true leadership and has been instrumental in raising agency morale through the ranks. This has been accomplished with his mentorship, positive attitude, and steady example. While fostering teamwork, discipline, and pride among his peers, his leadership style encourages growth and unity within the department, strengthening the bond among personnel. Captain Chastain is also deeply engaged in his community, both in and out of uniform. His involvement in local events, outreach programs, and charitable initiatives reflects his compassion for others and commitment to building strong community relationships. His conduct and character bring credit to the agency and the entire public safety profession. During critical incidents, Captain Chastain has consistently exhibited calm, decisive leadership, and unwavering devotion to duty. His professionalism in managing emergencies and guiding personnel through complex, high-stress situations has ensured the safety of others and upheld the highest standards of service. In every aspect of the role, Captain Chastain embodies the values of dedication, integrity, and selfless service. His leadership, character, and commitment to excellence make him highly deserving of the Public Safety Employee of the Year Award. And I thank you for what you do. Talking about volunteer fire department, Glenn Payne. Glenn Payne is a member of the... I'm so sorry, I did. Piedmont Mountainside Hospital, Andrew Everett. Corporate Andrew Everett was nominated for recognition of his distinguished service, professionalism, and unwavering commitment to public safety within Piedmont Mountainside Hospital and the greater Pickens County community. Corporal Everett exemplifies the very best qualities of public safety professional: integrity, composure, compassion, and leadership. Before joining the Piedmont Mountainside Public Safety Department, Corporal Everett served with both the Gilmer County Sheriff's Office and the Probation Division of the Georgia Department of Corrections, bringing with him extensive experience in law enforcement and public service. His deep understanding of criminal justice, investigations, and crisis management continues to elevate the professionalism and operational readiness of our department. Since joining Piedmont, Corporal Everett has consistently demonstrated exceptional skill and judgment in every situation. His calm demeanor under pressure, attention to detail, and ability to de-escalate volatile situations set a standard of excellence for others to follow. Whether responding to a high-risk incident, assisting a patient in distress, or mentoring a new officer, he approaches every interaction with respect, empathy, and professionalism. Corporate Everett is also a certified NRA basic pistol instructor, a role that further underscores his dedication to training, education, and the advancement of safety standards within our department. His leadership extends beyond his own duties. He is a resource and mentor to his peers, always willing to assist others, share his expertise, and strengthen the team through collaboration and example. On and off duty, Corporate Everett embodies the values of Piedmont Healthcare, champion patient-centered care, exemplify teamwork and corrections, be an owner, and embrace the future. His professionalism, compassion, and unwavering sense of duty reflect great credit upon himself, our department, and the entire Piedmont system. Corporal Andrew Everett is not only an exceptional officer, but also an exceptional person, one who upholds the highest traditions of public safety service. His contributions make a meaningful difference every day and Piedmont is proud to nominate him for this well-deserved award. Andrew Everett. Thank you, Andrew. Now, Talking Rock Volunteer Fire Department. Glenn Payne. Glenn is a member of the Talking Rock Fire Department, serving as Assistant Fire Chief. Payne has been an active and long-standing member and volunteer with the Talking Rock Fire Department, as well as a first responder. Glenn responds to most of the calls received by our volunteer fire department, and always with vigor and sense of urgency, just what he was trained for and what the job demands. He is focus-driven and serves as an exceptional role model for the other firefighters. His leadership skills are well suited to preparing and training new recruits. He is able to take command at the scene of an incident, but also works well with other first response teams. Glenn is an active member of the community and is always ready and willing to serve in whatever capacity necessary, organizing and maintaining public events, fire safety training, fundraisers are just a few. Volunteer Glenn Payne. Thank you, Glenn, for what you do. Let's give all these individuals another round of applause. What an honor. When reading these bios and see the training that they go through when they're not working, it's pretty amazing. And so thank you for what all you do. And now it's time to honor a hero. If I get through this without a tear or 10. Special recognition honoring Officer Brantley Worley. Officer Brantley Worley began his public safety career in North Georgia, serving across multiple law enforcement and emergency service agencies. His professional path reflects steadfast commitment to the protection and well-being of the communities he serves, as well as an unwavering dedication to faith, leadership, and teamwork. Brantley entered public service with the City of Canton Police Department in 2009, completing his basic law enforcement certification at the Dalton Regional Police Academy in June of 2011. During his 7 years with the Canton PD, he gained extensive experience in patrol operations, emergency response, and community policing. While at Canton PD, he served as senior advisor to the Police Explorer program, taught courses in the Citizen Police Academy, and created operational plans for major community events as a member of the Special Operations Group. In 2017, Brantley continued his service by joining the Pickens Sheriff's Department, where he served as deputy sheriff and later as sergeant in the Uniform Patrol Division. He supervised frontline patrol operations, trained and mentored new deputies, conducted various types of investigations, and participated in community policing events. He's defined his career. During his time at the Sheriff's Office, Brantley also graduated from the Georgia Law Enforcement Command College Professional Management Program. He is also on course to graduate from Liberty University next summer with a bachelor's degree in public administration. In addition to his law enforcement work, Brantley expanded his public safety service by joining the Pickens County Fire and Rescue in 2023. While there, he obtained certifications as a firefighter, advanced emergency medical technician, and fire apparatus operator. His responsibilities included fire suppression operations, rescue, response, and advanced patient care. This same year, Brantley was selected by his peers to receive the Emergency Medical Technician of the Year Award. In 2023, Brantley also joined the McCaysville Police Department, bringing with him years of tactical, supervisory, and instructional experience. His leadership and operational skills led to his promotion to captain in July of 2025, where he now oversees patrol operations, interagency coordination, and officer training. Brantley holds numerous instructor and advanced certifications, including Fire and Emergency Services Instructors, Level 1 and 2, Georgia Peace Officer Standards and Training, Instructor Levels 1 and 2, Post Firearms Instructor, Post EMS Instructor, Taser Instructor, Tactical Combat Casualty Care, Advanced Law Enforcement Rapid Response Training Level 1, Field Training Officer, Traffic Crash Homicide Investigator. That's a list. On the night of September 12th, Brantley responded to a call of service in McCaysville, Georgia. Officer Brantley was injured in the line of duty when he was shot in the back of the head and fell onto the ground. Brantley was airlifted to Erlanger Hospital in Chattanooga, Tennessee in critical condition. He sustained life-threatening injuries, including a fractured C1 vertebrae, broken nose, and a brain bleed. By God's grace, mercy, and the skills of the medical staff and the outpouring of prayers, he went home 3 days later, surrounded by family and friends who stayed by his side while he was in the hospital. His survival and ongoing recovery has been described as nothing short of miraculous. His homecoming proved that evil did not win, God did. A lifelong resident of North Georgia, his ability to serve simultaneously in law enforcement, firefighting, and emergency medical responses demonstrates his unique dedication to protecting life and property on every front. His courage, faith, and determination during recovery have inspired first responders and civilians across the U.S. The support demonstrated by fellow first responders and the citizens of North Georgia stands as a testament to his respected place in the public safety community. Please join us as we honor Officer Brantley Worley.
First off, let me start off by saying thank you to the ones that's in this room that came up, that's helped out in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Phone calls, text messages, coming by the house, coming to the hospital, catching me at a gas station on the way to visit family. Thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you. September the 12th is a night I'll never forget. I'm going to try to do this out. Ain't gonna happen. That night, I honestly thought it was going to be the last night of my life. And that is really, really hard to explain in yourself, in your head. That it may be the last time you see your husband, your wife, your kid. You may no longer be a son, you may no longer be a father anymore because you won't be there. And that's not the right way to say it, that's how I'm thinking of it right now. And that is the hardest thing that you can ever wrap your head around. There's a gentleman in here, and His brother is actually the paramedic that showed up. The paramedic's name is Bobby Long, and I haven't even talked to Bobby. But I remember looking at Bobby and going, Bobby, don't let me die. And he joked about it. He said, look, if you're gonna die, somebody else will be showing up, not me. And that's what I needed to hear, because at that moment, it's like everything rushed out of me. I felt safe, and that's the last thing I remember until I woke up in the helicopter. And for those of y'all who's never been in a helicopter, don't. It's got a whole lot of room, and it's really loud, okay? There's about this much room for this much human being, and it's real tight, okay? A little bit about what happened, that's still an open investigation, so I can't say much, but that's what happened. The bad guy's in jail, and I'm still alive. I'm gonna go ahead.
And a wonderful honor. Thank you, Bradley, for being here. What a group of individuals we've had tonight to honor. And these are people in our community, the place that we live, work, and play. So thank you for all that you do to keep our community safe. And we also want to thank some of our organizers and our sponsors. All right, our organizers, as we said, Gina Pendley. We know Gina has heart, and Gina's going to be here if she could. But she put a lot of work into this program. Michelle Tidwell, give her a hand. She has really worked hard. Steve Lawrence, please stand, Steve, as I call your name. Steve works very hard. Veteran. Jim Looney. We love our Jim. Jim's in Rotary, and also Marty Callahan. Where's Marty? Thank you, Marty. Thank you all who helped organize this event. We appreciate each and every one of you. We also want to thank our title sponsor, Piedmont Mountainside. Thank you, and the City of Jasper for your support and your sponsorship. Our principal sponsors were Emcee Electric, Pickens County Government, and State Farm Agencies, Marty Callahan, Parrish Lowry, and Alan Horn. Leadership sponsor was Rotary Club of Jasper, Renaissance Bank, ETC, and Coca-Cola United Jasper. And our beacon sponsors, I Think Financial Credit Union, Community Bank of Pickens County, Georgia Mountain Hospice, United Community Bank, and Southeast Outdoor Solutions. Without sponsors like this, we can't put on an event like this. So when you see them out in the community, thank them for their support. We appreciate it.
Well, I just want to say, what a great night, right?
Right.
Right? One round of applause again for everyone. So, with that being said, there will never be enough words to say how much you mean to us, for keeping us safe, for risking your lives, for loving our town, that is number one, for serving our community, number two, for sure, for protecting our homes, for everything you do from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you so much. Award, please come up here for a picture. If not, then you are free to go. Thank you guys. What a great evening.